What is up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then on this channel I take photos and I make short films and vlogs, and on Tuesdays I talk about stuff such as gear and tips and tricks for creators. And on this episode I will show you how to future-proof your content. So here's the problem. If you watch YouTube on a newer device, you will see black bars on the sides, and it wouldn't fill up the whole screen. To fix this, you need to change the aspect ratio to 2:1. And this is how you do it. Once you drop a video on your timeline, open up sequence settings. First things first, we are gonna change the sequence from 1080 to 4K. Type here 3840 and here 1920. If you shot a 4K video, then you only need to change the vertical to 1920. And now it will change the aspect ratio to 2:1. And when you go back to your timeline, just upscale the clip to 200. If your video was already shot in 4K, then you don't need to do this step. And this is how you future-proof your content. Now you can see that it nicely fills in the whole screen. Since everything is evolving and getting bigger, or wider if you will, you get bigger phones, bigger screens, monitors. The 2:1 is the new standard, and 16:9, well, it's kinda outdated already. This is also the reason why you shouldn't put the black bars in post. Instead of making your video cinematic, you just put it in the black box and that just looks weird. But David, black bars make my video look cinematic. I know, I also thought so, but I was wrong. So do it the right way. What makes your footage look movie-like is the aspect ratio, not the random bars added in post. So for the short films, I would change the aspect ratio to 2.35:1, and that's the anamorphic film standard, and I really like it. This website is very helpful, and you can find all the aspect ratios for any resolution. So I want to export my short film in 4K. I look up on the column which says 4K, and copy and paste the aspect ratio which is shown here into my sequence settings. And voila! Now my project is in 2.35:1 aspect ratio. Here's the comparison. On the left side, my first short film where I put the black bars in post, and on the right side, one of my newer ones where I exported the short film in the right aspect ratio. And you can see that it nicely fills in the whole screen. And if someone will be watching your video on a different screen, it will still have the black bars, but most importantly remember, aspect ratio makes your video look movie-like, not the random black bars added in post. And with that being said, let's assume that we edited the whole video and now we need to export it. So the format should be H.264. Over here we wouldn't touch anything, check the render at maximum depth box, and this part depends on how good is your computer. Unfortunately for me, it doesn't allow me to choose hardware encoding, so I'm left with software one, which results in slower exporting times. But if you can, choose hardware encoding. Change profile to high and level to 5.2. Next up, bitrate settings. Possibly the most important part. You need to change bitrate encoding to CBR, aka constant bitrate. With the other options, you kind of set the lowest and the highest bitrate, and then throughout the video it will change. In other words, your quality wouldn't be consistent. Some parts will look great and some parts would not. That's why I choose constant bitrate. The only downside, it will result in pretty heavy file sizes. The size of course will depend on what camera you choose, in what settings, but in my case, for a 10-minute video, if I choose a bitrate 70, my file size will be 7 GB, bitrate 80, 8 GB, and so on. For vlogs and tutorials, I would use bitrate 70, and for short films, I would use 90, because I want the best possible quality. And last but not least, check use maximum render quality, and we're done. So, what's new in my life? Today, I received a box. A very special one. Man, I'm so excited to show you this. This is the beauty. I placed the winning bid on auction and a week later it arrived. For quite a while I've been struggling with the thought if I want to go into film photography or not. From one side, it feels so inconvenient. It takes more time for shooting, developing, scanning. You're limited to only 15 shots per roll. Every time you want to go out to shoot, you have to buy rolls. Those you need to order, and again you need to wait for them to arrive, and even after all of that, you don't know how your shots will turn out, and are they even gonna be in focus or not? So it's very inconvenient way how to shoot photos these days. But from the other side, medium format film look is one of a kind. The quality, the colors, it's hard to describe. Film photos have a vibe that digital camera will never be able to produce. And kind of blows my mind that this came in the original box with the manual and everything, and the camera itself looks like brand new. These cameras were produced between 1975 till 1990. So to receive this camera in 2021, forgot in which year I live. But yeah, to receive this camera in 2021 in such a good condition, pretty amazing. And now the best part, listen to the shutter. I literally have goosebumps listening to this. One more time. So good. So good. Damn. I still need to buy a scanner and a lens, and unfortunately I can't find the lens that I want, which is 80mm 1.9. So for now the camera will stay in the box, but I hope that will change soon because I'm very looking forward to this. I'm very excited. Not sure that you were interested in this, but it got me very excited, and yeah, I just wanted to share it with you. So yeah, I guess that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, press the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and keep creating, buddy.